All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's a look at the Port Royal Speedway. And I wanted to welcome you back to today's video on the backstretch at this beautiful racetrack and facility. Kind of check it out. There's a full view of the grandstands, and then a look down at 3 and 4 in the pit area is back that direction. It really doesn't get too much better than this, but I think the best part is there's literally a neighborhood right here. You could throw a rock at all these houses. Really cool setup they have here in Port Royal, Pennsylvania, and just kind of gives off a great vibe. With all that, tonight's race is known as the Nittany Showdown. I think we're gonna be expecting around 50 410 sprint cars for it, between, you know, the PA Posse, the All-Star guys that were here for the Tusky, and then of course all the full-time Outlaws. It's gonna be really good. We're just hoping that we can get it in with the weather. There is a threat for some showers to roll in later this evening, so I think they're really gonna do their best to kind of push it through, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Anyway, that's out of our control. All we can focus on is getting the 1T fast, up front, and lay down a good qualifying lap to get it all started. We're gonna have a super quick turnaround here into our heat race, 49 410s for the opening night of the Nittany Showdown. Ended up qualifying deep again in our group. Told you guys how important qualifying is, and we just, you know, I felt like actually my car was pretty good. I just needed to be better behind the wheel. Racetrack definitely is getting slicker, faster tonight. 3 and 4's got grip. 1 and 2 though is a little slicker. It's still fast, but you know, it's not just hammer down wide open through the middle. Actually, a lot of guys were running lower, and I just kind of messed up both my laps. I didn't feel horrible out there. I just never got through 1 and 2 good. I think I was trying so hard to hit the bottom that I was turning a little soon, and I was driving through it where almost maybe if I would have used a little more brake or did some feet action and lifted a little bit, just a tiny bit in the center to keep my nose down, I would have drove down the backstretch better, I think. It just felt like I got tight in the center and then made the track longer and pushed up into the slick, and then that kind of just hurts your momentum overall. So anyway, we were, I don't know, around 22nd, 23rd, 24th, somewhere in our flight. We're gonna start 12th here in a heat race, and we're moving into that next. Make a couple changes, keep working on getting a little bit tighter, but we're in an early heat, so the track's gonna be similar. It's just, yeah, anyway, we gotta bounce back here in this heat race and try to go forward and pass some cars. So I just got back after 8 laps for our heat race. Started 12th, finished 10th. I think that's going to put us in a C main event. We needed to finish 9th to get into the B, and I almost had it for a second. I just need to work on, you know, continuing to make better laps as the racetrack's slickening off. 1 and 2, there's a lot less grip, as I mentioned earlier, from qualifying than 3 and 4. 3 and 4, like, you can still run it in hard and feel like you're kind of just stuck through. Where 1 and 2, like, it's easy to lose the right rear, and I almost feel like the car comes out from underneath me unless I really nail my entry. But like when I'm racing around cars and if I enter too soon or I get strung out kind of like, you know, above the bottom, then I'm like kind of waiting on it, and then I lose so much, you know, momentum and speed, and, you know, kind of trying to gain that back, you know, half the lap. So overall, I think I could have done a couple things a little bit better there and maybe gave us a shot to, like I said, gain a spot or maybe gain 2. But anyway, at least we, you know, completed those 8 laps, and we're gonna make a change now to, you know, kind of try to be better. It just sucks starting so far, and, you know, starting in the back. It's like there's only so much you can really do, and you're just trying to minimize damage to keep giving yourself a shot to be, you know, closer to the front. So they just posted the C main lineup. I'm rolling off from the pole here, so got to get in as we, you know, don't have a lot of time. They actually are just blowing the 8-minute horn now. So on the pole, 2 transfer. Racetrack's really fast around the high side, just about all the way around. It's getting slick and, you know, moving towards more normal Port Royal fashion. So got to get through this 10 good laps. Be nice to get out front and just lead and, you know, I mean, win something. I don't mean that how that's, I mean that how that sounds, but it's a C main. But I'm just saying, like, make some clean laps. So we're gonna strap in and go for it.
Holmes leading it. Cody Lehman back to the inside of Freddie Raymer. Slide job there right up across the nose. They nearly got together in corner number 2 as they battle for the transfer spot in tonight's C main. Freddie Raymer back to the inside once again in 3 and 4 to reclaim second. Raymer down low in 1 and 2 puts some distance on the 47K. Cody Hartlaub still running in the 4th spot. Ryan Timms in 5th. Lap number 3 going in the books for the Shark Racing 1T. Tanner Holmes leading the C main at Port Royal Speedway. Lap times in the low to mid 17-second bracket in the C main. White flag in the air. Tanner Holmes looks to continue his evening. The opening night, the Nittany Showdown for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. He'll pick up the win in the C main and move to the Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Freddie Raymer will join him in car number 51.
So we won the C, did our job. Felt like I made some pretty decent laps. Still looking to keep improving, but glad I, you know, got a chance just to be out front. So we're watching the dash, and we're going to be rolling off from whatever last is here in the B, and just try to. The goal is just to pass as many cars as possible. But yeah, racetrack's really fast around the high side. It's kind of hard to make other lanes work. I think once guys get going up there, it's difficult to not. You have to use that line to pass the cars in front of you. If that makes sense, I think everyone's going to be kind of fighting for that. So the B main is complete. You can see my car there behind me. Ended up starting last. I guess I don't know officially where we rolled off from, but finished 6th. 2 spots out of the transfer. On paper, that looks pretty good. The only thing I will say though is I feel like we gained a lot of positions just by being in the right spot, which is part of running a good race, but it wasn't like we passed every single car. We made a couple moves here and there on restarts and got into a good battle. I think it was with Chase Randall for, you know, a couple laps, just sliding each other back and forth, but still feel like we're just trying to get that little bit more. And of course everyone in the pit area is, but for me, I just feel like I can never get going to where I can build enough momentum where I get down the straightaways good and I just start like getting faster and faster every lap as you gain more speed. I just feel like I'm right under that point, and so I'm vulnerable in spots when I'm around other cars. So anyway, we'll keep working on that. And then as far as myself with my driving specifically, I do think I could run the top of 1 and 2 a little bit better. I think I'm getting to the curb a little late. They would almost say like you plug into it, like I could almost plug into it more towards entry and carry a little more speed, which would help my problem. But overall, passed some cars there at the end. We kind of started to run out of fuel. I think other guys were running out of fuel too. It was a long B, and unfortunately, like I said, we just came up a couple spots short. So it is what it is. Cars in one piece. All this goes back to what we talk about, which is qualifying. Qualifying's everything. I mean, when you have 54 10s here, you can't be behind the 8 ball early. It's one thing to be kind of mid-pack, but when we're as far down as we are, it's a dogfight in an uphill battle trying to go forward. But anyway, made the most of it. Like I said, our car's in one piece. I did want to show you, here's a look at my left rear tire. You can really see how badly it blistered. All of that is just so much wheel spin, and that's kind of how it is on these big tracks. You get going and you're trying to find the point where you're giving enough throttle to keep the tires underneath you, but also spin a little bit through your car spinning. And you know, like I said, keeping up that speed, it's really important at a place like the Speed Palace. Well, I made it back home here to Southern Oregon. It feels so good to be back in the Northwest. And I wanted to end today's video with like almost a heart-to-heart here on the channel, because I know how you guys have been feeling lately, because how you're feeling is exactly what I'm feeling. Just extremely disappointed and frustrated with our speed and how we're running, and, you know, going to these tracks and just like being kind of a step behind. That's how Bobby described it. You know, we're kind of just one step behind with our race car, and, you know, which leads to me being one step behind as well. I mean, and I'm already kind of a step behind because I don't have experience at the track, so I'm trying to catch up a little bit. And so long story short, we've just been struggling with our overall package, which has led to how we've been running. And I'm not here to make excuses for that or to sugarcoat it or whatever. That is what it is. But the best part about this whole experience has been, you know, the team that I'm with. They are very similar to my family operation, because Shark Racing is a family and they stick with it together. You know, we all have to do our part to get to our end goal. And so having Bobby Allen run the show, you know, it's really cool having that. And then just for me, myself, you know, I'll say that everything I was doing before, like this on its worst day, you know, being on the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series tour, which I know not everyone gets that opportunity, and what I get to do is so rare, and I'm very blessed. This on its worst day, when I stand back, is better than so much of what I've got to do before, and it's really cool getting to race at the top level, especially when you do get the better moments or those small victories or whatever it may be, and that's all progress in the right direction. So I just wanted to say, you guys keep believing in us. We're going to keep working. None of this is from a lack of effort. We have been, literally, we show up every day, smile on our faces, and we're trying, and we're giving it all we got. We just got to, you know, clean up a couple little things and get ourselves pointed in the right direction. And I will say, if you stick it out through the rest of the weekend, we do end on a high note.